All right. So, order of reaction, molecularity, and order of reaction may or may not be equal. Like in the third case, molecularity is equal to order. In the first two cases, molecularities are not equal to order of reaction. Now, molecularity is always a whole number. Like here it is 2, 2, 2. Number of reactants taking part in an elementary chemical reaction. Whereas order of reaction is defined as number of reactants taking part in rate determining step. This is the number of reactants taking part in rate determining step. The slowest step of a chemical reaction is called rate determining step. So order of reaction can be in fraction. Order of reaction can be in fraction. Molecularity is always a whole number. Alright, order of reaction can be in fraction. Now, next point, molecularity of a reaction is always constant, whereas order of reaction can be changed. How order of a reaction can be changed? Like I told you, for the last reaction, this is the rate law. Alright. Now, if you take any of the reactant in excess, like if you have taken hydrogen in excess, the reactant which you take in excess, by changing the concentration of that reactant, now you will find that the order of reaction means the rate of reaction remain unaffected. So any reactant, if it is in excess, change in concentration of that reactant will not be affected. Alright, this is the reason that any hydrolysis reaction, like if you have CH3 COOC2H5 plus H2O, that gives CH3 COOH plus C2H5OH. The rate law is R is proportional to CH3 COOC2H5. H2O does not appear in the rate law. Why? Because normally this H2O is in excess in hydrolysis reactions. So the molecularity of this reaction is 2, but order of reaction is 1. Such reactions are called pseudo unimolecular reactions. Pseudo unimolecular reactions. Alright. So molecularity is never more than 3. Molecularity is never more than 3 because suppose we have 3 reactants or 4 reactants. Alright, all of them must collide at the same time and all of them must possess sufficient amount of energy. The probability of this is very less. That is why molecularity is never more than 3. So these are the comparison between molecularity and order of reaction. Alright. Now comes how to find out order of a reaction. Normally you will find concentration method or Ostwald isolation method. In that method there will be given some concentration and rate of reaction, like it is 0.1, 0.1 and this is suppose 0.01, 0.2, 0.1 and 0.04, then 0.2, 0.2 and 0.08. On the basis of these observations, you have to find out order of reaction. Though there is a relation that R is proportional to A to the power N. Alright, on the basis of this you can say R1 upon R2, that is equal to C1 upon C2 to the power N. So normally in this method what we do, we put the concentration, like look at the first two observations. You are keeping the concentration of B constant and you are changing the concentration of A. So you will put 0.1, 0.2, R1, 0.01, 0.04 and you calculate the value of N. Similarly, in the second case, what will you do? The concentration of A is kept constant, concentration of B is changed, and this is the rate R1 and R2. This is C1, C2. Alright. Or alternatively, what you can do, you simply write R is proportional to or equal to K, A to the power X and B to the power Y. Alright. And then what you have to do, like what you did in the first two observations, you have increased the concentration of A from point 1 to point 2. So what you will write here 2, means how many times the concentration is changed. It is 2 times. And what is happening to concentration of B? You are keeping it constant. So now what is happening? The K is constant because K is affected only by temperature. Now what is happening to rate? 0.01 is becoming 0.04, means how many times the rate of reaction is getting increased? 4 times. So what you have to do, you write 4. So what should be the value of X? Obviously 2. Similarly, in the next observation, what will you do? The concentration of A is kept constant, concentration of B is doubled, and what is happening to rate? It is increased from 0.04 to 0.08, means it is doubled. So what should be the value of Y? It is 1. So now you will be able to write the rate law. You can say R is equal to K A square B. This is how the order of reaction is determined. By concentration method you can say, or you can say this is Ostwald isolation method. Look at one more case, A, B and rate. This is 0.01, 0.01 and this is 0.1 suppose. This is 0.04, this is 0.01, this is 0.2, then 0.04, 0.02 and 0.8. Alright, so simply what you have to do, you simply write R is equal to K A to the power X and B to the power Y. First observation, concentration of A is increased by 4 times and the concentration of B is kept constant, and what is happening to rate? It is doubled. So what should be the value of X? It is half. Similarly, concentration of A is kept constant now, concentration of B is doubled. What is happening to rate of reaction? It is increased 4 times. What should be the value of Y? It is 2. So what is the final rate law? R is equal to K A to the power half B to the power 2. So overall order of reaction is 2.5. This is overall order of reaction 2.5. Alright, so this is one method how to find out order of a reaction. And now on the basis of T half, how to find out order of reaction? The relation is T half. We will write capital T. T half is the time period in which half of the reaction is completed. So T is related to initial concentration as T half is equal to, is proportional to C0 to the power n minus 1. Right. T half is half-life period, C0 is initial concentration. Or you can say T into C0 to the power n minus 1. N is the order of reaction, is equal to constant. Or you can say T1 C01 to the power n minus 1, that is equal to T2 C02 to the power n minus 1. Or you can say T1 upon T2 equal to C02 upon C01 to the power n minus 1. So you can find out velocity, means T1 is half-life period at C01 concentration and T2 is half-life at C02 concentration, and N is the order of reaction. And if it is having complex values then you can take the log of it, log of T1, log of T1 by T2, or log of T1 minus log of T2, that is equal to n minus 1 log of C02 minus log of C01 or log of T2 minus log of T1 minus log of T2 by log of it is C02 minus log of C01 equals n minus 1, or this is 1 plus this value equal to n if it is a complicated value. Otherwise you can find out t half. Normally the question comes if t half is like if n is equal to 0, n equal to 0, that means t half is means n equal to 0 means it is a zero order reaction. In that case t half is directly proportional to C0. T half is directly proportional to C0 for zero order reaction. For first order reaction n is equal to 1, T half is independent. T half is independent of initial concentration. So on the basis of this you can find out the order of reaction. Alright. And then third method, normally it is mentioned, that is on the basis of graph. On the basis of graph, and in chemistry normally our intention is to make straight line graphs, like we don't write like in very rare cases like in Boyle's law etc. It is we draw graph between P and 1 upon V, or P versus V, where we get rectangular, hyperbola etc. Otherwise normal our intention is to get a straight line. So look at the first relation, R is equal to K A to the power N. That is the relation. And if N is equal to 0, means rate is independent of concentration. So for zero order reaction, this is for zero order reaction, if a graph is drawn between rate and concentration, if you draw a graph, you will find that the rate of reaction is independent of concentration. Whereas for a first order reaction, the rate versus concentration, you will find rate increases with the increase in concentration. Whereas for a second order reaction, now R versus square of concentration, means what we are doing, if it is a second order reaction, we are putting n is equal to 2, and then again you get a straight line. Alright. Similarly for third order reaction, it will be A cube. And second is between T half and C0, between T half and C0. For zero order reaction, it is directly proportional. For first order reaction, if you draw a graph between T half and C0, it is independent of concentration. Alright. And for second order reaction, what you will do, you will use this relation 2 minus 1 equal to 1, means T half is inversely proportional to C0. So you are not drawing a graph between T half and C0, rather you will be drawing a graph between T half and 1 upon C0, so you get a straight line. But if you draw a graph between T half and C0, you get rectangular, hyperbola kind of thing, like that. So for third order reaction, again what will you do? You will put the value of n equal to 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So T half is inversely proportional to square of C0. Then you draw a graph. And last method is very important, that is concentration. We draw a graph between concentration and time, and you get this kind of graph. For that you must know the relation for zero order reaction. The relation is Ca equal to C0A minus Kt. Alright. So what you are doing, you are drawing a graph between concentration, alright, concentration and this time period, and the slope is minus k and intercept is C0A. Alright, this is for zero order reaction. Similarly, for a zero order reaction, you must remember one more relation, that is K equal to C0A divided by twice of T half. Alright, this relation. And for first order reaction, there is a relation, that is for first order reaction you must remember, that is K equal to 2.303 by T log of A upon A minus X. This relation also you must remember. And K equal to 0.693 upon T half. This relation also you must remember. Or you can say Kt is equal to natural log of A minus log of A minus X. Or you can say log of A minus X is equals minus Kt plus log of A. Now if you draw a graph between log of A minus X versus T, you get a negative slope, and the slope is actually minus K. Alright, and this intercept is log of A. So these graphs you must remember. Alright, so these are the important points in chemical kinetics. In chemical kinetics, these are the important points. Alright, so these graphs are very important. All these graphs are very important, and how to determine what is T half and how to determine this order of reaction. All the things are very important which we have discussed today. Alright, so we will meet in the next class. I hope you are getting all the things. Alright, thank you.